So now let's talk a we have found Good afternoon. How is everybody today? Right, you guys can hear me, right? All right. No Monday blues, eh? It's the MCO 2.0. Everybody should be home right now. So you should be chilling, relaxing. Just a quick reminder before we start today. This is week 3. Your assignment is due this Friday, individual assignment. Some of you have sent me your drafts. I've taken a look, I've replied. A few more I haven't. But after lecture today, I'll have a look. So for now, I'm going to wait a few more minutes. I think it's only about half of you here now. And then we will start today's lecture. So for today, we are jumbling it up a little bit more. We will start with the first of the 4 Ps, which is product. So this is so that you can quickly move on to your group assignment after this. So pay attention, right? April, good afternoon, sir. I've just joined POM and this is my first class. I have sent a request to join the Teams group. Oh, okay then. Right. So you have an assignment due this Friday. Welcome. So the individual assignment is based on lecture 1. Actually, it's not a very tough assignment. It's just what you have to do is you have to choose 2 companies. All right. Choose 2 different taglines. And then you need to base it on the marketing orientations, which you can catch in the recording of lecture 1. So once you've done that, you need to discuss how is the company utilizing their taglines into the marketing concepts. So there are 5 different concepts, right? It depends which one you choose and which company you choose. And then what you have to do is compare the 2 of them. How is it different? And then finally come up with a recommendation for the company as a whole. How are they going to further utilize this concept if they're not doing it well already? Or you can recommend them to use another concept if you think that there is a better one that is more suited for their products. All right. So April, if you need further help, I can give you some tips later through Teams. Yeah. Does the companies have to be from the same industry? Actually, no, it doesn't have to be. But I think that it's easier if it is from the same industry, for you to do the comparison part. If you want to do it from 2 completely different industries, no problem, go ahead. I think some of you may have already even submitted your work, so pretty cool. Okay, there's about 25 of you here now. So I think I will start today's lecture. Without further ado, let's start the first video of the day. Right, as I was saying just now, we are shuffling it up a bit. So we will go into products first. Consumer behavior, we will do after week 5 because that topic is not part of the assignment. So we will go back to that topic a little later. So today, if you follow the lecture slides, today is under lecture 6. Yeah, today is lecture 6, product, services, and brands. All right, let's go. We have finally come to the first of 4 P's in marketing. we will be discussing products and how we are going to come up with different products and the attributes of products. There are four different objectives that we want to achieve today. First of all, we want to know what a product is, what kind of classifications it has, what kind of decisions the companies will make regarding individual products and services. We will touch a little bit about how to conduct marketing for services. And then we will discuss branding strategy as our last part. So first of all, we need to know what a product and what a service is. This is something that we need to clearly differentiate. So a product is anything that can be offered in the market for attention, acquisition, use, or consumption. And a service is anything that is not tangible and does not result in the ownership of anything, but it's also something that we can buy. So to differentiate these two, for a product, it is a physical thing. Physical. And a service is something that is not physical. Right? So this is the main difference between a product and a service. When you buy a product, at the end, you will receive a physical product in return. But when you buy a service, you only get benefits or, a different kind of satisfaction. Nowadays, many companies are combining products and services because selling a product alone is no longer enough. We need to complement it with some kind of service so that we give better value to our customers. So when you buy a phone from a store, buying the phone itself is a product. But when the salesperson helps you to answer your questions and help you to apply your screen protector, that's a service, an additional service that the company is providing to you for free. What is a product? When we look at a product, we usually look at it at three different levels. So, when right in the middle, we have core customer value first. Essentially, what we are trying to ask here is what is the customer really buying? So, let's say when you buy a television, what are you actually buying? You are buying entertainment. And then in the second level, we have the actual product. This is the physical product that you will own. So in the television, we have the brand like Sony. We have quality levels, different packaging, what the design is like, what kind of features it has. So that is in the actual product level. And then in the third level, we have the augmented product, which are additional fringe benefits that you receive from buying the product. So we get warranty, after sales service, delivery, and even product support that you can call for help after buying the product and if you face any difficulties while using them. Okay, so the iPad, is not really just a physical product that people buy. They actually get a lot of value out of it. They get entertainment, they get self-expression, productivity, and connectivity. So now the iPad and all these electrical devices have become a form of communication and entertainment, and it has so many core values in one single product. And then in our products, we can largely classify them into two different categories. We have the consumer products and industrial products. Consumer products are those that are bought by end consumers, people like you and me. When we buy a product and we use it, that is a consumer product. Industrial products are products that are bought to be used in further production or to be used to be resell to others. And then in terms of our consumer products, we can further classify them into many different categories. So we have four large categories, starting off with convenience products. Where do you think we get convenience products from? Yep, you guessed it. We get convenience products from convenience stores. So convenience products are products that need to be bought frequently because they are things that we always want to use and always need to use. So in places like Family Mart, 7-Eleven, KK Mart, and even Speed Mart sometimes, you can consider it sort of a convenience store. So from there, we get convenience products like newspapers, candy, fast food, and things that we typically get every day for consumption. And then in the second category, we have shopping products. These are products that we buy less frequently And we are very careful when we are choosing these products. We care a lot about the quality, about the price, the suitability, and the style, whether it matches us or not. So these are less frequently bought things can include furniture, cars, and household appliances. So like your microwave, your television, any of your kitchen appliances, refrigerator. Yeah, this all falls under shopping products. Now the third one is specialty products. Specialty products are a little bit different because we need it to be more specific in its use case. So they have unique characteristics that differentiate themselves from other brands. These are usually luxury products that people want, so it can include things like high-end watches, fine crystals, gourmet food. So usually when people are looking for specialty products, they already know what they want and they are willing to put in the extra effort to buy it. So it can be high-end products, medical services. It is usually a little bit more specific. Lastly, we have the unsought products. There are things that people don't usually think about buying. So if you think back to our initial first chapter, what kind of selling concept would we need to use with these kind of products? It can include things like life insurance, funeral services, and blood donations. So as we know, insurance is very important for each and every one of us. If you do not know what kind of insurance coverage you have, I suggest you ask your parents, learn a little bit more about it. This should not be an unsought product, although it is. We should be very clear about the kind of insurance that we have. Okay, so this table is a summary of all the different type of consumer products that we just went through, from convenience to unsought, what kind of behavior they would exhibit when they want to buy it, what kind of price. The other three P's are here: price, place, and promotion. Okay, so we can also classify products based on the type of marketing that we want to do with the product. In today's marketing, we do not just promote products as part of our marketing. We also promote the organization, person, place, and social. So these are things that we use collectively with our product to promote it. Okay, so what does all these four different things mean? Very simple. Organization marketing means that they are trying to sell their product to you by marketing the organization itself. So what they're trying to do is they want to change your perception of the company by using the goodwill of the company. Let's take a look at this Australian company called Westpac. They are a bank that have many financial products. Okay, let's watch an ad now to show how they are trying to use organization marketing to influence you to buy their products.
There is always someone for each of us, they say, and you'll be my someone forever and a day. I could search the world over until my life is through, but I know I'll never find
Okay, so the whole point of the video was that this man has been helping others his whole life. But now that he has passed on, who is going to help his wife? So Westpac is going to, because they have insurance services and real writing services that caters to their need. So by doing this, they are trying to build a goodwill that their company is there to help you in the most difficult times. Okay, companies are also trying to sell their products by using person marketing. This is a bit like your KOLs or your influencer marketing. So you associate the product with a certain famous people or influencer then it changes the kind of perception you have towards the product. Maybe previously you don't like Nike, but now because LeBron James is promoting Nike, so you fall in love with Nike and you'll buy the product. So this is an example as well. Maria Sharapova is also a ambassador for Porsche, and Cristiano Ronaldo is the ambassador for Shopee during their 99 sale. Now, thirdly, place marketing is used to sell a place. So the product that you're trying to sell is the place, and social marketing is trying to send social messages. So this is a little bit different from our traditional marketing. So let's look at the examples. So in terms of place marketing, it is usually used by governments to promote their countries. Like we have this advertisement by Australia. It says the tagline is "There's nothing like Australia." So they are trying to promote Australia, and we have Malaysia, truly Asia, Taiwan, the heart of Asia. So place marketing is used to promote a certain place. And then social marketing is usually used to send a message to society to improve the current situation of the society. We have the 3 R's of the environmental messages from reuse, reduce, and recycle. And also there is this poster that is telling you to stop smoking or reduce smoking because it is affecting our life adversely. So now, for example, if you are given a chance to come up with an advertisement for a product, what would you put in the advertisement? Right. So first of all, you definitely need to put the quality of the product, the features, and the style and design. So how are you going to communicate quality to people? You are going to tell them about the features of the product, what kind of level of performance does it have, and how consistent it is. So take for example, if you're trying to sell a Rolex watch, what kind of features and product quality would you include in your promotional material? Definitely, first of all, you will be saying that it's made of premium materials, we say sapphire, compared it to a pasar malam one, which is made of plastic. So by highlighting the material that it is made of, you are highlighting the product quality. Secondly, you need to communicate the product features in your promotional materials. So the features of the product is what you use to differentiate yourself from the competitors. What can your product do that other people cannot, or what is the thing that it is supposed to be able to do? So taking the iPhone launch recently, for example, they have 4 different versions of the iPhone, from the mini, the normal, Pro, and the Pro Max. So each of it has its own distinctive feature. So the Pro Max has a better camera than all the rest. This one has a better internals compared to the iPhone 12. And the iPhone mini itself is smaller in size, which some people actually look for, but still maintaining the basic features of the iPhone. Since each of the iPhone has its own distinctive feature, that is how marketers are using it to sell it at different prices to other people. It's no wonder companies are always asking us for surveys and to get our feedback, because they want to know what we think about their features, and they want to know what kind of future features that they can include in their future products. You can also communicate the style and the design to customers. Don't be mistaken, style and design are 2 different things. Style is just the appearance of the product. The design usually contributes to a usefulness as well as how it looks. So if you look at these 2 relatively new phones, this is the Oppo rollable phone. So the style is that it's a bigger squarish phone, but the design is the rollable part of the phone. It may change the style of the phone, but it has an additional function, which is a bigger screen. Likewise for the Samsung Fold, so it has a different style, and definitely the design is unique, increasing the size of the phone itself. And what is the purpose of a brand? It's used to help the consumers to identify the products, say something about the quality, provides legal protection so that other people cannot use the same brand or logo as you. It helps segment the market and commands a premium if it's a better quality brand. Alright, so have you guys heard of this brand? Russell Taylor's. At one point, they have very aggressive marketing. They were on billboards, they were on banner ads, they were on in mobile game ads everywhere. Every ad that you will see this brand. So, sounds like a very English brand, isn't it? Is it from the UK? Is it from America? That's where you're wrong. This is a Malaysian brand. This is actually a brand that was came up by Satish Raghuchandran. So he has done nothing but branding for this product because he does not manufacture a single thing. All he does is he gets OEMs, original equipment manufacturers. They produce the materials for him, and all he does is he slaps his Russell Taylor's brands onto it and he does the marketing for it. So up to a point, he is a one-man show company. He has done from marketing, from customer service, replying to customers, packing the goods, sending them out, everything he has done 1% by himself. So this brand is, I would consider it a very successful brand because it has gained some traction in the market. He has come up with style and designs that are very aesthetically pleasing. It's very functional as well, and it looks like all the high end brands out there. But the price is only 20% of, let's say, Tefal or KitchenAid. So it's very cheap, it looks good, and it works well. So by doing pure branding, he has successfully come up with a very compelling product to sell to customers. Branding has become so important today because it helps to set a person's status and social class just by owning it, which makes some people shop for products solely based on brands. So the higher end products and the brands that you carry, then it shows that you are sort of in a higher class of society or you have a higher social status. An example is this guy who's called Joshua Bell. He's a world-class violinist. So he usually plays in the symphony halls for about $100 a ticket. So he can earn a lot of money a night. But to do an experiment, they got him and his $4 million violin to start playing at the side of the subway, while with a hat to get money for whoever who enjoys his music. At the end of a 45 minutes performance, he only got $32. But it's the same person using the same tool, playing the same world-class music, just without a branding. So that shows you how big a difference a brand can make for a person or a product. Alright, the next part, once you have got all the different decisions for products done, the next part will be packaging and labeling. The packaging is a container or a wrapper for a product for you to hold the product or to protect the product from damage, while the labels will identify the product or brand, describe the attributes, and provide the promotion. Amazon has, they deliver a lot of parcels a day, and with their signature cardboard box packaging, they have also included the Amazon logo on it, to the point where when people see this arrow, they don't even have to see the word Amazon. They can recognize that this is a box from Amazon. A packaging can also do much more than just hold a product or to just protect it from damage. Like how the washing detergents has used the cap of the product as a measuring cup as well, so that you know how much to use. And take a look at this packaging from McDonald's Germany. It has become a sort of a party pack tray. Once you have a takeaway bag, you tear off the top half and it becomes a tray for you to serve the food and to hold it around. Most importantly for you guys is you need to know about the different types of packagings that are available. So for the normal kind of products, we have the cardboard box, and then for food, we have many different kind of packagings. We have the milk carton box, we have canned drinks, we have canned food, we have plastic water bottles, plastic bags, different types of plastic bags, glass bottles, so on and so forth. So when you are choosing a packaging for your product, you must choose the one that is appropriate with the product that you are trying to sell, and make sure that it offers convenience to consumers. So as you can see from all of this, the most important point is that it offers a lot of convenience. For drinks, it must be available for me to drink anytime I want to use it. And for this kind of plastic packagings, I must be able to reach whatever I want inside at a very quick and easy way. And then for labeling, the purpose of labels is to help us to identify the products It supports the promotional efforts of the product, and most importantly, is actually the legal information for consumption. So as you can see from this soap bottle here, we have many different labels. It shows the brand, it shows the logo, what is the distinctive feature, what's the packaging size, how to use, customer support, where it's from, ingredients list. Different countries have a different legal requirements to put in the labeling. And any product that is for consumption, whether it is to be eaten or not, but to be used by people, it must have all these different labels on it. And most products actually have an expiry date. It's a legal requirement that many countries have, even for products like soap and for canned aerosol sprays. All these things have expiry dates on it, so that you protect the consumers in case they use this after a long period of time. It may cause harm unexpectedly, right? So as you can see, the labeling also serves as a warning label for products that can cause harm by accident. Especially, they will always ask you to keep it away from children. So same thing for this Shiltox liquid. So they always tell you that there should be a certain limit, a certain number of hours that you can use this product, and then you should stop. So on and so forth. And then for the last part, we need to communicate our product support services, or our augmented product. Remember in the circle just now, the most outer layer is augmented product. Yeah, so this is things like warranties and support services. So we must also remember to include that in our product if we have it. This is especially important for high involvement products. So things like expensive things like cars, like furnitures, computer laptops, your handphones, all these things, they usually come with like sort of a warranty card to give you assurance that you have support for this product over a certain period of years. Now that you know how to come up with your own product, you must consider product lines because there are many different ways for you to segment your products to different customers. So within a same type of product, you can have certain variations, or you can have many different larger differences that you can charge at different price for different people. So what do I mean by that? Let's take a look at the Coca-Cola company. All of these companies actually belong to Coca-Cola. From the Coca-Cola brand to Fanta to Schweppes, Glacius, Vitamin Water, and Heaven and Earth. So each of these is an individual product line. Okay, and within their product line, they have many different flavors or variations, I will call it. So Coca-Cola has the classic Coke, Zero, Vanilla, Stevia, and Light. And so many flavors actually. Fanta has many different fruity flavors: orange, grape, strawberry. Schweppes, Vitamin Water, and Heaven and Earth, and so on. So a company can have many different product lines, and it depends on what are you trying to do and what are you trying to sell to your customers. Each of these flavors actually try to cater to a different customer segment. So that's why they have so many flavors for each of the drinks. Okay, and how many variations there are in one product is what we call a product line length. Okay. So yep, like I said, it's the number of items in the product line. So some companies try to stretch and fill the lines by including more different models. So like what BMW is doing, they slowly started with several models, and then they have the 3 series, they have the 5 series, and then they have the 7 series, then they have the X, and they have the so many different versions of it now. This is because they're trying to cater to all the different levels of customers out there, the different segments that they're trying to cater to. Each of this is not done for fun. There is a reason why they came up with so many series. Like the 1 series is what we call the entry level series. It's usually the cheapest, and people who just want to start moving into luxury cars usually buy the 1 series. So another example is how Marriott hotels, they are also stretching their product lines. Started off as the 5-star Marriott hotels, then slowly they have the Resident Inns, they have Spring Hill Suites, which is even more high-end, Renaissance, JW Marriott, and then they have some cheaper ones like Fairfield, So they're trying to cater to many different customer segments, from low price to high price. And then our product mix can have different decisions, like I was already saying. So the next chart will make more sense to you. Yeah. So this is similar to the Coca-Cola company's chart. So we have the product mix width here, no, the different lines, and then the product line length. So what do we need to consider for this? How many different product lines do we have? How many items for each length? And how many versions? And how consistent they are. So how big of a difference do you want them to be? Because the bigger the difference, then the more different the target market that you have will be. So now let's talk a little bit about. All right, so that's lecture 1, the first part for today, which is the section about products. So right now you should know that there are many different type of products. There are 4 types of main products, the 3 levels of products, what is a product line and width, and if you are trying to come up with a new product, what should you be trying to communicate to your customers? Right? So I realized I might have been speaking a little bit too fast in my videos, and the cuts are a bit too fast, right? So in my future videos, I'll try to slow it down a little bit. But because in the short semester, I'm quite worried I can't finish the whole lecture in 1 hour. So it's like just speed mode going on and on and on. All right. So to continue today's lecture, I like to show you a demonstration of products. So instead of just lecturing, why not we do an unboxing experience like how other YouTubers do it, and at the same time I will showcase you the kind of products that we have, and to sort of recap everything we just went through. All right. So as you can see, this is a pair of wireless headphones. So what's the first thing that we always see from when we buy something? The first thing is definitely the packaging. So as we mentioned, the purpose of the packaging is to hold the product and also to protect it from damage during shipping. But it's not showing up too well. But at the same time, it's also used to show the brand of the product at the front itself. Can you see the brand? It says Soundcore over here, right? So that's the brand. And then at the back of the box, we have the many product features. Right, this filter is kind of messing with my stuff. Yeah, so at the back of the box, we see the product features and what kind of benefits you can gain. So these are sort of the technical aspects that you can get. All right. And then at the bottom of the box, we have the labelings. So the different labels are government regulations, safety protocols. What else do we have here? Where it's made from, Yeah, it says this is compliance with the FCC rules, blah, blah, blah. So the device may not cause harmful interference. Yeah, so this kind of labeling is what we need for legal compliance, right? Okay, let's open it up, shall we? So, as you can see, once you open it up, there is the product inside. They have a transparent box, plastic box on top. So once you open it up, the first thing you see is the product. It's a good way to showcase your products right off the bat. And then as you take it out, all right. So you've got your headphones here. You've got the case to carry it. So actually, if you think about it, this is a packaging inside a packaging as well. So Yep. So it's also used to carry and charge the product. So what kind of distinctive features does it have? So any of you guys use wireless headphones? What brands do you buy, and why do you buy those brands? So inside the box we have other kind of papers and stuff. So these are also part of how you are trying to um, instead of just communicating the product features, this is how you communicate the product benefits. So from here, I'm sure they'll tell you like, oh, living the high lifestyle, the latest lifestyle kind of thing. So though that is how these products are trying to communicate benefits to you instead of just the technical features. Of course, at the same time, they have some instructional materials in different languages. Blah blah blah. Okay, some instructions to teach you how to use the products. So if you are trying to come up with this kind of products, you must always remember that there are some technical features about it. So you must teach your users as well. Okay, that's it. And I believe one more thing. So this is the actual product itself. So go back and think about the three different layers of our product. We have the core product. So what is the core value of this product? What are customers actually buying when they buy one of these? Okay, so the stream is a bit delayed. It's just gonna be some awkward staring until I get some response from you guys. No, nobody. Okay, so I think in terms of core product, this is probably entertainment value. Probably we are buying this for entertainment or maybe for connectivity, communication, because we can use this to take phone calls as well, right? So that is the core of the product. And then the second layer is the actual product. So what brand is this? What kind of quality is it at? What features does it have? Yeah, so stuff like that. And then finally, we have a uh, warranty card. So this is the third layer of the products. We get the augmented benefits. They give you the uh, phone numbers to call as well. So if you have any problems, you can call their customer support. You know, so this is the third layer. This is augmented products, which is the additional benefits that we get from purchasing a product. Okay, so I hope you guys are clear with what products are, and we will move on to the second video for the day, which is the second part of the same lecture. Okay, let's switch it over. So let's talk a little bit about services as well. Now, services have the four main characteristics of it. It's very different from products because, first of all, services are intangible. They cannot be seen, tasted, felt, heard, smelled before the purchase. So, from your five senses, you cannot feel it before you buy service. Services are also variable, which means that it will be different every time you see the service because it depends on who provides them and when, where, how. So it is also inseparable because services is not something that is tangible. You cannot separate it from providers. In order to receive a service, it has to be from a certain person or a certain provider. And it is non-perishable because it is not something that is physical in the first place. So you cannot keep it for later use. It has to be used now and then. So that is four main characteristics of services. Services marketing is actually a whole other subject of its own. So we will learn that little bit later. Instead, we will focus more on branding. Why is branding so important? Every company is trying to build a brand now. Those brands from China that used to have no name, no logo, nothing whatsoever, are now starting to come up with their own brand name as well. So, brand is more than just a symbol for a company. The brand is the key element for a company to build a relationship with consumers. Okay. Brand equity is the differential effect that knowing the brand name has on customer response to the product or its marketing. To simplify it, it's how customers respond to a brand. So if you are going to buy a cola, you see a brand that is sassy versus some off brand that says that this is a sasaparilla. So obviously you will recognize the Sasi brand better, and so you will buy the Sasi brand. That's what brand equity means. Just by knowing a brand, it gives you a different effect and what kind of response you will have to it. Brand value is simply just the total financial value of a brand. So this is not something that is very easy to measure because it's like we said, brand is also not something tangible. So uh, Apple is worth $246 billion, Google is worth 174 billion, and Amazon is worth 415 billion US dollars. Those are some of the highest brand values in the world, and it's no wonder everybody is trying to copy their strategies, trying to build their brand. So branding is a very expensive exercise because it takes time and a lot of money and effort to get the name to be known out there by many people. And considering how crowded the market is, it becomes an even more difficult task to do. So, what kind of strategies can we take if we want to try and build our own brands? Okay, so these are some of the steps that is a generic step for us to use if we want to build a strong brand. So we start off by brand positioning, our brand name selection, sponsorship, and our brand development. Okay. In order to build a strong brand, the first step is in brand positioning. This is to position the product's attribute in the consumer's mind. Remember our brand positioning chart? We only have two axes, right? So this is similar to that, except we want to communicate our attributes, benefits, and beliefs and value. So product attributes are the quality of the products. So how well it functions and what kind of features it have. That is something that is easily copied by other people. So we try to position more in terms of benefits. And what are benefits? So instead of using attributes, we try to use benefits because they go a step further. By going beyond the technical product attributes, we start to tell customer things like, oh, this helps you to save time, it saves money, it saves energy. So these are the additional benefits that you can get from using our product. That is the kind of message that you want to send to your customers through your brand. And the strongest positioning strategy is actually through beliefs and value. Because if you are able to ingrain a certain belief or value in a customer, then your brand becomes much more stronger. So take for example Volvo. When you hear this brand, immediately it comes to your mind safety. So this is the kind of value and the beliefs that they have managed to position themselves in. And this is the strongest kind of positioning strategy that we can take. Similarly, with Disney, they use Mickey Mouse so well that this kind of branding has become so strong in consumers' mind that they are always remembering happy times, enjoyable moments, just by remembering this mascot or the brand itself. Some brand positioning that have become so successful has replaced the product category of the brand itself. So, for example, when we talk about instant noodles, in Malaysia, we don't call it instant noodles, we call it Maggi because that brand has become the most prominent one for all the different instant noodles out there. Similarly, when we are trying to get diapers, we call it Pampers because that is also the strongest brand out there that is associated with diapers. So if you can reach that kind of brand positioning level, then you have very successfully branded yourself out there. Okay, in the second part, we've come to the brand name selection. So what you need to do is, first of all, obviously, you need to pick a brand name. It should be easy to pronounce, to recognize, and remember. But from your brand name, you should also be able to suggest the kind of benefits and qualities. It has to be differentiable, distinctive. It has to be extendable, and then it must be translatable for different countries with different languages. Okay, and then you must also check the name whether it can be registered or not, because there are many brand names out there. It sometimes might not be so easy to find a name that you can use. The next section is brand sponsorship. So what is brand sponsorship? It's talking about how you are going to use your brand. Are you going to use it on your own? Are you going to collaborate with others? Or are you going to use it with or for someone else? So it's easier to explain this from examples. We have the first one, which is manufacturer's brand. Sony is the manufacturer of their own products. They also use their own brands. We have private branding, or sometimes we also call it private labels, which is something like Tesco, how they slowly come up with many of their own products, but they actually manufacture none of it. So it can be a little bit like OEM as well. And then for the third one, we have licensed brands. So Pokong likes to partner with other brands to come up with unique designs. So such as how they license Disney's brand from Disney so that they can produce like Mickey Mouse earrings. So these are some unique ways of using and collaborating with other brands. And the last one is co-branding. So Babrick, I think they are like a specialist in co-branding, because all their Babrick designs are always depending on another brand. They always collaborate with another brand to come up with unique designs for their collectible figurines. Alright, for the last part of this chapter, we are going to be talking about brand development strategies. So we look at two things. We look at product category and we look at brand name. Are you using existing or new brand names, or are you using existing or new product categories? Similarly, we have our very common matrix that we use in our many strategies. If you are using an existing brand name with an existing product, we call it a line extension. Okay. If you are using your existing brand name but you're coming up with a new product category, we call it brand extension. A new brand with an existing product is multi-brands, and a new brand with a new product category is a completely new brand. Okay, I like to explain things with examples. So let's see. Line extension. We're using an existing brand with an existing product. So like how Sunsilk, they slowly come up with more new flavors. You have a grape, you have orange, you have, I don't know, grapefruit next, maybe durian flavored shampoos. So yeah, those are all under line extensions. Existing brand and existing product, just adding something else new here. Okay, then we have a new brand for an existing product. So if you didn't know, these 4 different brands are actually owned by the same company of Dove. So Lux, Lifebuoy, and even Clear, they're all shampoos, but they are using a new brand with an existing product. So these are all the same products. They modify a little bit here and there, and then they sell it under a new brand. Okay, new brand, existing product. Now in the third one, we have an existing brand but new products. So in the US, they don't call it just tape. They call it the Scotch tape, because this is the most common brand by 3M. For some reason, we call it cellophane tape in Malaysia. So if you are using a brand extension, you are coming out with new products under the Scotch brand, but it's the same brand. Yeah. So new products and same brands. As you can see here, from the Scotch product, initially we have the tape, then we have a thermal laminator, we have a super glue. These are all completely new and different products, but for the same brand. And lastly, we have a new brand for a new product. So under Unilever, actually they have many different brands, and each brand usually have new products. So from Ladies' Choice, they come up with a lot of products that goes well with bread. So like peanut butter, jams, and things like that. Then Knorr, this brand is for seasoning and spices. Then we have the Lipton tea. And then we have Walls, which come up with confectionery and ice cream products. So this is a strategy that is coming up with a completely new brand and selling completely new products. And that's all for this chapter. All right. So that is the food, the product chapter, food. Jeez, I'm hungry actually. So keep thinking about food. But yeah, that is the product chapter. So now you know about the different attributes of products. You know about how your product should be, what kind of attributes should you put, the kind of design and packaging that you can include, right? So it doesn't matter which different school you're in. I think this one is quite relevant for everyone. Even as consumers, we should already know most of this stuff. It's just that we have never really sort of properly put it out in a very neat framework. You know, everything is very organized this way. So I hope you guys are clear about that. Okay. Do you guys have any questions for me so far regarding products? I will definitely be slowing down in my future videos. Okay, so every week we will cover 2 chapters. That was the first chapter for our product. Then we have a second chapter today, which is still on product. But it's talking about how to develop new products, what kind of process it goes, and how do we manage the product over its lifespan. So products don't last forever, right? They come and go. And what do we do at each stage of the product? Okay, but the next chapter that we are going to do next week is actually on advertising. So maybe I want to show you guys some ads to kickstart a little bit because advertising is a very big chapter. All right. Return on equity included in the syllabus. It's just a term to know actually. So it's nothing very important in the grand scheme of things. You should be focusing on the 3 levels of products. You should be focusing on product attributes, product branding. These are things that you should know better. Okay, so before I start the next chapter, I just want to show you guys this advertisement. Wait.
Ủa. Áo, xịt đi.
Trên đáy phồm.
ไม่ตาย มึงซื้อยี่ห้ออะไรมาเนี่ย
เชนไดไงอ้าวมึงจะไปไหน
กำลังกูดิ
กลับไปไหม
อ๋อ จะกลับไปบอกเพื่อน ว่าเชนไรกระจอก
พ
พี่ยังไม่ตาย ใช่ มันทำอะไรพี่ไม่ได้ ต่อไปนี้ พวกเราจะไม่ตาย ตาย แต่แล้วตาย จงไม่บอกพวกทุกตัว พวกเราพร้อมทุกตัวแล้วพี่ บอกพวกมันว่าอะไรพี่ ว่าอย่ามาแตะตัวกูอ้าวเฮีย
เกี้ยง
เช่นไดโฟมฆ่าปลวก ตาย ตาย
This advertisement gets me every time. The Thai people are surprisingly good at advertisements. So if you ever need some inspiration, definitely go check out the Thai people's advertisement. It's hilarious stuff. Okay, so with that short break, we can now move into the next chapter of developing new products. I hope you've eaten your lunch because the first few slides will make you a bit hungry. Let's see. Okay, we're going to start this next chapter. This is about developing new products and managing the product lifecycle. So, basically, that is the whole chapter. We're going to talk about two things. We're going to discuss how companies develop new products, and secondly, how they manage the product over its life cycle. Okay, so how do companies find and develop new products? First of all, we need to look at KFC first. Of all the many companies out there, KFC is one of the most innovative companies because they put a lot of money into R&D and they come up with a lot of new products every now and then. So as you can see here, there's about 10 to 12 different flavors. Would you believe that all of these came out in 2 years? Yep, all these different flavors were introduced in a matter of 2 years. So I had the opportunity to talk to someone at KFC a while ago, and it's from their research and development team. So what they told me was at any given time, KFC have 10 different flavors in development. So this is really something that is very unique because of all the 10 flavors that they are developing, usually only once get released. Why not McD? KFC is the best. I don't think Texas chicken is as good as KFC actually. After trying it out for a while, maybe Mary Brown is even better. So by the way, Mary Brown is a Malaysian fast food chain. They also serve fried chicken. And I think they've revamped their menu once or twice in the past 1-2 years. So their stuff is becoming better. So yes, KFC, if you think about new product development and innovativeness, KFC is definitely one of them. Okay, so theory time. How do we obtain new products as a company? First of all, we can go through acquisition. We just buy another person's product, their patent, their license, and from there we can just develop the products and sell. So, acquisition. Or secondly, we can be more original and come up with our own new products. We modify them, and usually this comes from R&D. So, interesting statistic to share with you guys. Why new product development is good but risky at the same time? It is said that within 2 years of a new product being launched, usually about 66% of them fail. So new product development is an expensive exercise, but it's definitely needed because we need innovation in all our different products. Moving on, we are going into the 8 different steps of a new product development process. And this is the summary of it. Everything starts with an idea. So with an idea, we move on to screen the ideas, we test the concept and the developments, come up with a marketing plan for it. Business analysis is to check out how profitable that thing is, whether this new product can make money for us or not. Then we develop the product, we test the product, and then we sell it. So it doesn't matter which school you are from actually, because doesn't matter if you're from pharmaceutical or you're from a IT school or something. Generally, when you want to introduce a product, it has to go through sort of this stage, right? So if you are, let's say, from a pharmacy school, you develop the new drug, but you don't know how to start about how you are going to sell it. So definitely just look back at this generic framework. Of course, there is usually a little bit more detail in each different product, all right? So with the first step, idea generation. How do we come up with new ideas? We have many different sources actually nowadays. First of all, we have internally, which is from people in the company. When we are selling products to our customers, we are the ones who know what kind of features and specifications we are going to put. So internally, when people in the company, they should know what kind of products customers want, something new, something different. So you can get it from internal sources. So some companies actually do this a lot, like Facebook. So Facebook likes to have these hackathons for their staff and to come up with new ideas that they can use on their platform. And if their ideas are good and accepted by Facebook, they get extra benefits like days off or bonuses. So that is for internal sources, which is people from your own company. Now, secondly, we have people from external sources. So this can be anyone from your customers, from your suppliers, all these people who have anything to do with your business. So one very unique way Lego is doing this is actually through their website. They are inviting people to build Lego sets and then have unique designs that they can upload onto Lego's website. So they will review it and they will usually choose one of many products to be the winner of it. What happens when your product is chosen? You get 1% net revenue from the product. So this becomes a very strong incentive for customers to upload their designs there. And this is similar to what we call crowdsourcing. So trying to gather information from a huge crowd of people. All right, so internal sources, like I was saying, companies' own teams, people, and then external sources can be anyone from the outside. So Under Armour is also another company that does this. They have this Idea House sort of competition also every year. So they will choose the top 12 products and the winner will get their products launched and be invited to work together with them. Yep, crowdsourcing, like I was saying, getting people from everywhere to come and give you ideas. And then secondly, we need to screen the ideas. So from our internal and external idea generation process, we may have 50 ideas. Oh, what are we going to do? We can't develop all of these different ideas. It's too expensive for the company to do it. So we need to screen the ideas and choose only the best ones. So some questions that we will be asking is these 3 questions, the RWW framework. First of all, is it real? So is it real? Ask whether the ideas, is it logical or not? So say right now today, I want to build a flying car. It's a good idea, of course. Definitely people will want it, but is it real? So it's not something that is doable. So definitely no. Secondly, can we win? Can we win is talking about how we are going to sell our products compared to our competitors. Can we win over our competitors with this new product? So if we can do something better than our competitors, that's a good idea. And lastly, is it worth doing? Well, business is all about making money. So the third question is, can we make money out of this? So this one, is it logic? Second is win. Yeah, I guess win is explanatory. And worth doing is about money. All right. So that's step 2, idea screening. This is still... Oops. Okay, and then we move on to the... Wait, hold on, I have something popping up. Okay, sorry about that. And then we move on to step 3. Step 3 is about concept development and testing. So an idea is just an idea. It's just a thought in the brain. So that's an idea. And then the concept is how you make a more detailed version of the idea. So for example, you say, imagine if electric vehicles wasn't a thing yet. So your idea is, I want to make a car that has 0 carbon emission. Like, okay, fine, that sounds good. So how are you going to do it? And then when you move it on to a product concept, you start saying that, oh, it should be a sedan car. It should be running on batteries. So that is how you move an idea to a concept. And then the product image is the way the consumers perceive an actual or potential product. So this is how consumers are viewing it from their point of view, whether it is something that they would like or not. Okay, so after you have come up with the concept, then you need to test it with groups of customers. Okay, so one thing interesting was that while KFC was doing their R&D, I actually got invited to one of their sessions where they came up with a new flavor. Actually, not KFC, sorry, it's Pizza Hut. So Pizza Hut is actually coming up with a new flavor, and then they invited people to go and try their new pizza flavors. So one of the things that they did was to test out different concepts with consumers. They didn't have the products out yet, but they were asking you, what if we made a flavor with this, or that? So do you think you would like it? So that's how they do concept testing. For physical products, sometimes they can also do it with the mock-ups. So it's like a drawing or an illustration of the product, or maybe a video to show how the product would look like. So that's how they do concept testing. Consumer behavior chapter will be moved behind, because I need to rush through these chapters so that you can finish your group assignment on time. Okay, so don't worry, we are definitely doing it, but we are just rearranging it. Okay, so coming into the 4th step, we have the marketing strategy development. This is where you go back to your the usual steps. So how do we conduct a marketing strategy? First of all, we talk about value proposition. All right, step 1. And then step 2, we talk about segmenting, targeting, positioning, and sometimes differentiation if you want to. Okay, but usually we just use STP. And then thirdly, we have the 4 Ps. So right now we are in the first of the 4 Ps product, and we need to come up with the 4 Ps for our marketing strategy development. Okay, target market, value proposition. Yep, that's exactly that. And then the 5th step is a business analysis. Business analysis is about whether this idea can make money for us, whether this idea is profitable or not. So this is where we start a forecast of our sales and estimate our costs, what kind of profits we can get. So yes, this is business analysis. And then step 6, product development. So from a concept, we are now developing the product into a real physical product to make sure that this is something that we can actually work with and actually usable. So we need to build it out, and then sometimes, technical products may have more technical difficulties, and in product development, this is where they need to sort of test it out. For physical products, this is where we call the prototype stage. We build the first version of it. And in softwares, this is where we start to develop the software as well. Okay. And then to move on to the 7th step, this is where we do test marketing. So test marketing is where we actually test out the products. We've built the prototype, we've built the sort of demo softwares. So this is where we need to try it out in a real market setting. So we need to get people to actually try the product, gather their feedback, and see whether it's workable or not. So in softwares, this is where beta testing starts. And surprisingly, not all companies go through all the 8 steps that we are discussing now. Companies like Starbucks, they needed to push the apps out fast. So they did not have time to slowly go through each phase one by one. Every stage takes time. So what they did was they just skipped test marketing. They launched the app out there. And what they got was they got a lot of complaints from their users. So many people started to give them a lot of different feedback. And then they just keep improving on it. Every time they have a different bugs or different problems that consumers face, they will just fix the issue with the app. So right now, Starbucks has about 8 million transactions per week. And they only took about 6 months to fix all the different errors there were in the app. So this is innovative, I guess, in a way, because they skip test marketing. And it also depends whether your product is cheap or expensive, you see. So comparatively, if you develop an app, it's a cheap product, sort of. So it's okay if you skip test marketing. But if you have a vehicle, like a car, there are safety standards that you need to adhere to. So chances are you cannot skip out on your product development, concept testing, and on your test marketing. You have to develop out the product, make sure that it's compliant with all the different legal requirements, make sure that it's safe for consumers to use, and then only we move on to the 8th step, which is for commercialization. So like I was saying, test marketing depends whether it's a cheap or expensive, and how certain we are about the products. So you don't need to do test marketing if it's a very simple line extension, like the shampoo, you add one more flavor. So chances are you don't need to test that. If you're copying your competitor's product, you already know it works, so that's when you don't need to do test marketing. But once that is all done, we move on into commercialization. This is actually when we start to sell. And because this is a new product, commercialization actually means when are we going to launch, how are we going to launch it, and where are we going to launch it. So we need to consider the launch strategy that we are going to use for this new product. What kind of target market are we trying to attract to? Who are we targeting? What kind of age group? What kind of income groups? And all these kind of things. But more importantly, when it comes to new product development, commercialization actually have a lot to do with logistics. If you are able to do a very grand launch and you can sell a lot of your product, then you must think about the logistics of how to get the products to your customers, right? So when the iPhone 6 was launched, it was made available in 115 countries in just 3 months. At that time, that is a very difficult feat to achieve, but I believe that today with their improved supply chain management, they can even get the phones out to even more countries at an even shorter time. Okay. Need some water. So a few more points to take note when we are developing new products. Okay, first of all, no, there are 3 points: customer-centered, team-based, and systematic. All right. The first one, being customer-centered means that when we sell our new product to customers, we must be able to solve their main problems. All right. Remember our 3 levels of product. So definitely the core, this is what this whole sentence is trying to say. We need to be able to fulfill the core. We must be able to solve the customer's main problem first. That is number 1 priority in a new product. Okay. Number 2, team-based new products mean that when we are developing the new product, we actually should be working together with different departments in the same company. All right. So you as the marketing department, you come up with a new product, you need to work closely with R&D, R&D, you need to work together with operations. So there are many different departments that is responsible to push out a new product. So why do we need to work together with them? Because we do not rely solely on ourselves to come up with the product. These are the people that actually help us a lot along the way. So we must make sure that operations are able to churn out the products that we want. And then you have finance, because we need to make sure that these products are profitable. So if you can get everybody's input when you are making a new product, chances are they will be more motivated as well to put in more effort to help you. So always make sure that when you are making a new product, involve everyone in. And they have different point of views of the product. They may give you different insights and help you come up with problems that you can solve before you actually launch the product out. So it will save time, it will save energy, and it will save cost for the company as well. Okay, and lastly, we need to have a systematic new product development, because this is for the purpose of innovation. If you have a very good system to manage how you come up with new products, then you can instill it into your company as a culture. Everyone has a say, and everyone has a chance to come up with new products. And if you can use the 8 steps that we just mentioned just now, then it will help the company to save time once you are used to the process. So you can come up with new products quickly if you just use back the same processes again, test it here, do this, do that, what we face, all these kind of problems. So when COVID-19 hit, actually a lot of new products came out. There were some kind of like aerosol sprays that we can, not aerosol spray, sorry, it's something like a toilet freshener that you can hang inside your rooms, or you can put it anywhere, and it will sort of clean the air around you for by itself. And that is one of the kind of innovative products that came out during difficult times. Okay, so many stores also could not open during COVID-19, so they had to come up with new products or new ways to sell their products. Many people moved to online stores, started to open shops at Shopee, at Lazada, or started to do Facebook Live and Instagram Live, Instagram stores. All these kind of things, actually, you can call it a new product development as well. Okay. I'm going to take a short break here. Okay. Does everyone have any problems with the products, this new product cycle so far? The 8 steps should be relatively okay, right? Am I still talking too fast? You guys can tell me if I'm talking too fast. I will definitely try to slow down a bit. But yeah, so different kind of products will take different amount of time to come up with new products. Definitely, these 8 steps you need to remember. hint hint, it's an important chapter. So yeah. Okay. Okay. So if no questions, then I will move on to the next part of this chapter. The next part is the product life cycle. So now that you have launched your product, most products will actually go through these 5 stages in their lifetime, from when they were born to when they die, sort of. So in this graph, what we are looking at is actually sales and profits over time. So we start off with product development into introduction, growth, maturity, and decline. Excuse me. So not all products go through this cycle at the same time because they have different lifespans. So for example, brands like Coca-Cola, Guinness, American Express, and Tabasco sauce are hundreds of years old, but they are still around and they are still in their maturity stage. They have not started to die yet. So let's see. Guinness is about 250 years old, while Tabasco sauce is actually about 150 years old. Yeah, so you can use the product life cycle to describe a brand or a product. So, and then different categories and different class have different lifetimes. So electronic products generally do go through all 5 stages, but their life cycles are quite short. Some can be within 1 year, 3, 5, 7 years, and then they have already reached the decline stage. Whereas, Coca-Cola is 200 plus years old, but they are still here in maturity. Okay, so remember, this graph, we are looking at sales and profits over time. Right, in the first part, we have 0 sales because we are still developing the product. And we have high investment costs here. Introduction, we have little bit of sales, not much profits. In growth, we have great market acceptance. This is where we really grow and we get a lot of profits. And in maturity, our sales start to drop off and our profits will start to reach a plateau, which means it start to leveling off straight. And finally, in decline, sales will fall off and profits also will drop. Okay. So in the product development stage, why is profits here in the negative area? Because we put in a lot of money to come up with the concept, to come up with the ideas. So generally, there are no profits here because we are still incurring losses. This is where we put in a lot of money to come up with the product, to test it. Okay. And then in introduction, our profits are still going downwards in the negative because initially when a new product comes out, we need to spend a lot of money to promote our products and to let people know about this product out there. Especially if it's even a new brand, we need to even do branding exercises, like we said just now, to position the products in our consumers' mind. All these take a lot of money. So in the product development and introduction stage, generally we incur losses. And if you are lucky and your marketing strategies work, then you might get some little bit of profits at the introduction stage. Okay, so slow sales growth because it's new, so you don't have many people accepting your product yet, little to no profit, and high distribution and promotional expenses. And then in the second stage, we reach growth. Our sales start to increase. This is when the market starts to accept our products. Okay, but at the same time, we also have more competitors who enter the market because they will start to copy us. Generally, this happens a lot in the real world. We have more profits and we have economies of scale. This tool is actually very interrelated. All right, because once you start to mass produce your products, for those who have taken economics, you might know this, but for those who have not, this is what the graph will look like. Okay, so your fixed costs have gone down. Your fixed costs have gone down considerably. So let's say you have let's say the machine's cost is $1,000, for example. So you use $1,000 to produce one machine, your cost is 1,000. But now you are using the same machine, which is 1,000, to produce 100 products. So you get 10. It only costs $10 now. So this is what we mean by economies of scale. The more things you produce with the same fixed costs, then the lower your cost will be overall. So economies of scale happens during our growth stage in the product life cycle because we are mass producing it, we are selling it everywhere. And this will help to increase our profits since our costs are down. This is also where if we have a lot of competition coming in, we have to start reducing our prices to attract more buyers. Yeah, this is what we call a price war. It's very funny actually. A lot of people like to compete with another brand by reducing their prices. So if I'm selling at $1, he will sell at 90 cents. And then generally, the normal response that some people will have is, okay, I will reduce my price even further as long as I'm making profits. But that's actually not a very healthy thing to do. These kind of price wars will kill both of us, because what you should be doing is you are providing value to your customers. So when you are coming up with pricing strategies, it should be based on the value of your product. You should not simply cut your prices because the competitors are doing so, right? This is all theory, but in real life, you will see price wars happening every day. If you don't believe me, go look at Shopee, all right? Find a certain product and you keep tabs on the price over time. As time goes by, you have more and more people starting to sell the same product. And then the same sellers will keep reducing their prices. And especially for the new sellers who just came in, they can sell it at a cheaper prices than the existing one because they have the initial benefits that Shopee give them for new sellers. So go try it out. Go find a product on something like Shopee or Lazada, and you check off the price over time. You will see that they will keep reducing their prices, and eventually somebody will have to quit the market. Okay, so in maturity stage, sales will slow down because there are more suppliers now for the same product, and we have a lot of substitute products as well. So overcapacity leads to competition. This is the stage where your product has already become sort of stale, I would say. If your product becomes stale, then it doesn't grow anymore, and your graph just goes sort of straight, you know. So in this stage, it depends on what you want to do. So everything ties back to all the different chapters we've discussed actually. If we go back to the second or third chapter. The third chapter was about marketing strategies, right? So what happens when your product reach the maturity stage? If we go back to the BCG matrix, right? So you have these 4 different things. Okay, so if your product has reached the maturity stage, hopefully, and probably you should actually be having it here as a cash cow. Okay, these products should be generating a lot of money for you. But if you want to maintain it as a cash cow, you may need to increase the amount of promotions and the R&D you do to support your sales and profits. Okay, then this goes on to the other strategy, which is the Ansoff matrix. All right, so similarly, it's also 4 quadrants. And you might have to use this strategy, which is market penetration, because you need to increase the amount of promotion and the amount of efforts that you want to have so that you can continue to enjoy these sales and profits. So actually everything in marketing will tie back to all the different chapters together. Okay. And lastly, modification strategy. Yeah. So based on the market penetration strategy, you can have several options. You can modify your product, modify the market, or modify your 4Ps. So actually, Coca-Cola has done this very well. They've been modifying their product to keep up with the times over these 100, 200 over years. They've come up with many different flavors. They even come up with healthier alternatives because people were labeling sodas as unhealthy drinks. So this is where modifying the products come in. And lastly, we reach the decline stage. No matter how well you do it, it will come to a point of time where the product will die off, but it's always a matter of time. So when that time comes, you have several choices. You can maintain the product by investing more into it, modifying it, changing it, so you can maintain the product. Okay, and you hope that it continues to make profits for you. Secondly, you can harvest the product. Harvesting the product actually means you are going to sell the product to someone else, or you are going to modify it such that you can try to reduce the variable cost of your product. Okay, so this one, reducing variable costs so that you can increase your profits. This is also part of a harvest strategy. Okay, so we go back to Coca-Cola again. What has Coca-Cola changed over time? The biggest thing that they have changed is actually in terms of their packaging. Okay, so they used to be a glass bottle. So every bottle of Coke used to come in a glass bottle. I think in the 1800s, it was very nice. It was very luxurious. It actually looks like a whiskey bottle. And then slowly they start to cut the designs on it, start to reduce the size of it. And eventually it came to a point where they started using plastic bottles for it because it was cheaper. All right. So variable cost comes with each and every product individually, right? So bottling was one of the biggest variable costs for Coca-Cola, because when you reduce the weight by changing it from glass to plastic, you not only reduce the total weight of the product, you also reduce your shipping costs as well, because now the products are lighter and easier to carry. And with that, you can increase your profits and keep your product alive for a longer time. And of course, ultimately, if the product is not doing well anymore, we have to drop the product and we have to kill it. Okay. So that's the product life cycle. It goes through the 5 different stages. Okay. This is a sort of summary for it. In terms of sales, it's from little bit, goes up, and it reaches a peak. So once it reaches the peak, it will slowly start to decline. And cost, it goes from high and to low over time. Profits is negative. We need to do a lot of investments. We get more profits into it, high amount of profits, and eventually decline. Okay. So customers, these are the different type of customers that we have. They are innovators, are people who like to adopt things early. They're early adopters, mainstream adopters, and this is what we call the laggards. Okay. So not only that, you can use the product lifecycle with the different 4 Ps as well. We are in product here. So you see, and initially we offer a basic product, then we offer more and more things. In growth, in maturity, we diversify the brand. And in the last part of decline, we phase out the weak items. Okay, so next time, over the next 2 more weeks, we will go through the price and promotion and also our place. And then this will all maybe make more sense to you. But I think it's not too difficult to understand, right? Okay, so as marketing people, we also need to think about the social impact that we have when we come up with new products for our customers. So social responsibility marketing and international products. Okay. Definitely the biggest hurdle that we have to go through is the legal hurdle. So we have to come up with patents, we have to come up with quality controls, safety and product warranties for each of our products. And it's not just something that you do for the sake of doing. It's, I think, if we attribute ourselves to the societal marketing concept, which we all really should, this is something that is sort of basic, but many companies still do not practice. So one example is from the Toyota Prius. In the 2012 to 2013 model, they had this fault in their car. So what happens is that when you are driving halfway, there is a software glitch. It will cut your car's power. And it's supposedly a very rare case, like one in maybe several million or something like that. But if there were cars that were traveling at a very high speed and they suddenly lost the power, it could increase the risk of a crash. So what Toyota did was they were very responsible, they were proactive, they called back about 2.5 million of the cars, installed the software update, and then returned it back to their customers. So these are things that we should be doing proactively, not wait for a car to crash and somebody has died, and then only we start to take action. That will give us very bad publicity in the first place. And also, it costs a life just because of your product decision. So you don't want to stain your hands with the blood of somebody who was using your product, right? So definitely we should always be taking into account social responsibility when we are coming up with our products. Okay, and the international product and service marketing is more related to actually about standardization or customization, because each country has different laws that they have for different kind of products, right? Even for their packaging and their labeling. So as much as possible, we want to standardize our products across the countries. So this will reduce our fixed costs in economies of scale. So we get to make cheaper products and we can sell it at for higher profits. So this part actually has a lot to do with profits. So one example is McDonald's. They are very smart actually. They did a lot of research and they have different menus for different countries because they cater to different needs, right? So what the French McDonald's has realized is that people there like to spend more time in the shops. They like to lepak in McDonald's, just like how we love to do it here as well. So instead of building smaller restaurants, they decide to expand the size of the restaurants and increase the size of each portion of food. By doing this, people were actually spending more time in McDonald's, and it gives them such an inviting feeling that people want to stay on. And from what they found is that the longer the people stay in McDonald's, they're going to order more food and spend more. So after they have finished their meal, if they are still sitting down and chatting, chances are they will order an additional coffee or they will order desserts. And this is very good. They have, just by changing this design and the menu, they have managed to increase the spendings of the customers by 4 times compared to those in America. Okay, so this is what the kind of things that we can do to encourage customers to spend more. Excuse me. Okay, and yeah, that's it for this chapter. Jesus Christ. Alright, everyone good with today's chapter? So we've gone through products, we've gone through the product life cycle, new product development. In case some of you don't know, I'm actually the coordinator for BizPod in Taylor's. So BizPod is like the platform for entrepreneurs. So if you have a business idea that you want to do, but you have no idea how to do it because you've never done it before, come look for me. We can have a little chat. And since now you know the new product development cycle, you can go through it with whatever idea that you have. Alright? So if you come to me, we actually have a panel of experts. They are real entrepreneurs outside running their own business, but they have also agreed to become mentors for us. So if any of you have any ideas that you want to commercialize and make it into a reality, come look for me. I will hook you up with a mentor and they will guide you through the whole process of starting up. This is completely free, by the way, and we will not take a single cent of profit from you. The profits will all be yours, but we are just there to help. Okay, so does anyone have any questions for me regarding today's topics? No? Okay, then I suppose I will start camps soon. So get ready your apps. I'm gonna start camps for you to take your attendance. Alright, everyone ready? Right. Before that, I need to remind you one more time. Your assignment for your individual assignment is due this Friday. Okay. I've set it to Saturday morning as the deadline. So Friday 11:59 p.m. That's your last chance. If you have a draft, you want to let me see it first, you can still do it. Yeah, but be quick, yeah, because there are a lot of people sending in, so I might not have time to look at everyone's. So if you want to do it fast and do it early, alright? And as for tomorrow's tutorial, we are going to go through the segmentation, targeting, and positioning tutorial. So tomorrow is tutorial 4. Tutorial 4, alright? Go have a look at the questions first. Recap a little bit about what segmentation, targeting, and positioning is. Okay. I'm gonna start camps now. Huh? What is going on? Not showing. Yeah, there's some bug going on now. It's not showing up my PowerPoint window. Okay, so I'm looking at it and extendable, right? So basically what extendable means is whether you can use that brand for, let's say, like a different category of it. How are you going to expand that product? You know, at number 4 and number 5 actually is quite similar. So it's about how you can use the same brand for different product categories. Okay, so for example, Amazon started out selling books, right? So they use the same Amazon name and they use it for their online store, and they also use it for their Amazon Kindle. So yeah, extendable means how can you use the same brand for a different product. Okay, I hope that makes it clear for you. What is this? So yeah, does anyone have any more questions for me? I'm having technical difficulties all day long now. I don't know why, and what is going on. But yeah. Okay, I think everyone got their attendance, right? It's about 2 minutes left running for it. I got 41 entries. Right, so this is just a tip for any of you who are interested in stuff like streaming, since we're all stuck at home now. So when you are streaming, you like to on music and stuff in the background, right? The problem is that your videos can be taken down for copyright issues if you are using, songs that you play on Spotify. So there's this guy whose name is Harris Heller. What he has done is he has made a whole bunch of songs that you can play that is copyright free on Spotify. So his name is Harris Heller. So if you are interested in this kind of things, you can go look him up. You can use his content, use his musics, and you will not get any copyright strikes from it. Okay. So last chance, any questions? If not, then I'm ending today's lecture. Alright, you have 3 chances on your Turnitin check. So definitely use it for checking your plagiarism percentage. Alright. Ideally, I want you to have less than 20%, but I think the limit is up to 30%. So use your plagiarism, use your Turnitin to check your plagiarism first and modify it accordingly. Alright. So after 3 times, the 4th times, you will take 24 hours for it to generate. So please don't spam the system. Yeah, and do it early so that you have more time. Alright, any more questions for me, guys? Okay, if there are no questions, then that's it for today's lecture. I will see you guys tomorrow morning and afternoon for tutorial then. Have a great day, guys. Adios, amigos. See you guys tomorrow. Bye.